have?
I don't know.
Yep, it is.
That's not how you spell GUI. You spell GUI with 2 O's.
No, you don't.
Well, that's for a different thing.
GUI.
There's lots of kinds of GUIs. You can have GUI boogers, or you can have graphical user interfaces. Your graphical user interface is your GUI, and that just basically industry standard of how you say it.
Oh.
I just don't like the
Well,
word
but
GUI.
why do people say it like that? Because that's not right.
What makes you think it's not right?
Because that's,
Well, if you
I
want,
don't know.
that kind of gets deep into the concept. So let's talk about what is a GUI. A GUI is your graphical user interface. So since the actual definition of the smaller portion there is graphical user interface, then that breaks it down to GUI. So how else would you pronounce GUI besides GUI?
Would it be guy?
GUI? Yeah, it would be like guy.
Okay, so that's not it. So if you talk to any programmer about the GUI, they'll know exactly what you mean. I'm pretty sure they won't think you're talking about your GUI boogers, unless you just picked your booger and held it out in front of them and say, "Hey guys, look at my GUI." That might be different. Like, look at my GUI. That's not how that works. Back to
Great.
Okay, I want everybody. Elijah, are you logged into your Raspberry Pi?
I'm logging in right now.
Okay, I'm gonna organize all my pies on my screen.
Sleep.
Chris,
Yes.
how do we open another Linux interface?
What do you mean by another Linux interface?
How do we open another thing? I'm logged into the Pi, but I don't know how to do that.
Okay, so you forgot. All right, which one are you? You're 63?
Yeah.
Chris.
63. So you are, if you look at the top bar on the left-hand side, you've got the Raspberry, then you've got an Internet Explorer, then you've got File Browser, then you have your terminal. So it's not a Linux interface. Linux is the operating system itself. What you're wanting is your terminal. So that is your terminal. Okay?
Uh-huh.
For those, I think I have Eli on 61, then I've got Ethan 1 and Ronan on 62. I rebooted all of the Pis so they all have a higher resolution screen. So I've got Ethan 1 on the left-hand side of 62 and Ronan on the right-hand side. And I've got some more Raspberry Pis coming so everybody can have their own entirely assigned Raspberry Pi. Okay? Now, I want to have you guys take a look at something that I have been getting put together here. So this is, look at my camera, this is the tank bot that I have put together from a while ago, and I think you might remember this from the shop. Okay? I have 5 more of these coming, and then I'll be putting them physically together myself, since we're dealing with lockdown. And then everybody's assigned Raspberry Pi will be mounted onto your tank. And once we get to that point, we'll be doing programming of our tank, and we'll start working on some of our remote control view, okay? So then from there, we'll learn or go off of what we learned with Python and some of our electrical engineering basics and work on building ourselves our own tanks that we can then remotely control over the internet. Okay?
Interesting.
All right, so
Who's making
to get the terminals open, I'm not entirely sure what you're doing all that craziness, Ethan, too. How about you just pay attention?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Make sure you are, for one, VPN, which I think everybody is. 2, use FileZilla to open up your FTP into your system, and then use VNC to connect to your Raspberry Pi. Now, Ethan 1 and Ronan, I want you guys to work together and make sure you communicate because you're both using that one Raspberry Pi. You just have 2 separate terminals. Again, just like we did last class, the right-hand side will be Ronan, and the left-hand terminal there will be Ethan 1. Okay? Elijah,
Okay, so
get on the Raspberry
Yes.
Pi.
Yeah, I'm on it.
You are?
Yep.
I do not see your terminal open. There you go. Okay.
Lauren, if you're gonna execute, unmute and tell me, or just type in chat, please.
Yeah, I don't know if you've got too much background noise going on, Ronan. Would be good if you can actually talk.
Chris,
Yes, sir.
here's keyboard and mouse and wireless that are broken. That my dad gave me because somebody ran into the chip.
Oh boy. Well, that means you can play with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna open up my screen.
Like these are some expensive mouse and keyboard too.
Let's have a conversation real quick.
Hey Chris, do you keep cutting in and out?
I am cutting out. Is that better?
Indeed.
Pull
Si, senor.
my face a little bit.
It's actually the little that's gonna happen every time someone else talks when someone's talking.
We look at my screen coming back to GUI-04. So this is the program that we finished last class on. Too much farther. I want to make sure everybody's on the same page and tracking what we did to get up to GUI-04. Sneak, I know you're going to be behind because you left class early and you didn't have VNC. So you do have VNC installed now, right? Even two?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Now, Elijah, you notice that, yeah, you can expand that form so you can see the image. So you do not have all of the app that we worked on last time, but we can kind of move on and you should be able to catch up with that. But what I'm going to do here is a lot of what you learned of GUI 0 through 4, we're going to take and we're going to start applying into 5 through 8 and then 9 and keep on moving.
Okay.
So the first thing,
I just stole some.
number one, can everybody see my screen? And do you have any questions about how the application loop works or the photo process, the text size, the slider, your push button, and all this stuff, different type of stuff? Everybody understand how this works?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just confused how it knows to use robot GIF.
Because you tell it to use robot.gif.
That is correct.
Well, but what if that's not an image that you have?
Well, then it just gives you an error.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh.
If you don't have that image, then it will give you an error. That's why I made that directory and put that image into everybody's Raspberry Pi first. Now, what was brought up, and I think this was you, Ethan, last time, is what if we want to do our own? Or no, I think it was actually with Soren. You can do your own images on your programs as we move forward, and it's beneficial to know how to do that, but I want you to all understand the concept of why we're doing it with the structure that we are, just so everybody's working on the exact same thing. We're all pulling the same image in the same place on our program. So if anybody has issues, we can all work on that together, and I can help troubleshoot your problems. Now, once we grasp the beginnings of how everything works, then we can move on to bigger and better things. Everybody needs to get the basics, just like we did when we did our Python programming with text-based stuff at the beginning. It was kind of a pain to read, but we just did user input, screen output, all kinds of different stuff, and we just slowly built into being able to play Battleship on Google Sheets. So the concept we're going now is starting back at the beginning of GUI stuff. Now that you had a little concept of the of what it takes to do some Python programming, now we're just adding Python 3 with the GUI interfaces so we can start building and doing more cool stuff. Okay. One thing that I want to make sure everybody understands is since we are using this GUI-0 library that we're importing, the GUI-0 library requires you to use Python 3. And I think one of our issues that we had on Tuesday was using Python, the default Python install, which I believe is 2.7 on all of these. So make sure we're using Python 3 for your GUI. And also with Python 3, remember if you're taking user input or you're doing different stuff with variables, you have to specifically note if it is a string, a float, or an integer when you're taking inputs. Because I've had issues myself, even when I'm writing programs and I move from one version to another, and you forget, for example, if you're taking user input, if you're just doing input without doing int input, okay? So there's a lot of these little nuances and really detailed pain in the butt things, okay? All right, I'm going to move on to GUI number 5. So what could be beneficial is if you just take a lot of what you had on GUI 4, do a file, save as, and save it as GUI 5, because you notice a lot of the stuff that we're working with for up here in the head with our includes are the same. Now, one thing we will touch on down the road is all of these individual pieces are things from this library, the GUI-01 library, that we're importing. What you can eventually do, since I'm just typing all these different types of things, is as opposed to specifically indicating these individual things, you can do an asterisk, and it will import all of this. But for right now, I'm just doing it like this. Does everybody have this here, or do I need to put it in the Google Doc?
I got it.
And let
I've got it.
down to.
Wait.
So if you look on our Google Doc, I've got the 2020-04-23 Section 2 GUI 5 notes. Okay? That will have all of that stuff right here. I'll highlight it. So
The 2023.
okay. So if you're looking at my screen, the next thing we're going with is basically the same thing we did with GUI 4, we're just setting up the title of the GUI itself. We're initializing the GUI, and we're making it called app. So app title, I just called it second GUI here. Now we're setting width and height and grid. So this is something new that I want everybody to see. And what I will do is I will add this to our Google Doc. So you can type it out, or you can copy and paste this if you wish. So as we understand from the past now, since you're setting up this variable, this is your app. Okay? So that's that app. The title of the app is GUI, second GUI. If you want to name it mini or something else that's appropriate, you can go ahead and do so. I'm setting my width to 300 and my height to 200. And this last section is something that's new for section 5.9 here is layout equals grid. Now what you saw, Ronan, I see you say you don't have the GUI stuff. Look at the GUI Google Doc that was shared to you.
I can hear a lot of background noise coming from someone, and it's like overriding Chris.
I think that might be Ethan Steve. Are you breathing in your mic? I can see your thing bouncing around. Look,
No.
Ronan, it shows you have the Google Doc open. And if you look at section 2, scroll down further, you see I have the date here that's set to 2023.
Hey, what if we all mute our microphones and then send in chat if we want to like talk to someone?
You could. Yeah, do that for now, as opposed to me muting you. All right, I think that was Ethan just muted himself. Everything sounds a heck of a lot better. Okay, so I'm going to keep on moving on as long as nobody have any questions. This is a big important part that I want everybody to recognize is we're setting up a grid. So it's like X, Y coordinates, similar to what we dealt with previously when we did columns and rows. Okay, now what you saw on our work of GUI 0 through GUI 4 is everything just went from top to bottom all in a row. With setting up the layout equals grid is you're allowing the system to understand that you want a grid layout on your actual GUI itself in X and Y coordinate. Okay, so if you look at my line 16 here, for example, it has the film underscore choice, and then over here I indicate where I want it on my grid pattern. What this is actually going to be doing is having a drop-down menu that you might be used to from seeing other programs playing, is you have an option to click something and it expands so you can then choose something there within. What we're building, just for the sake of the project, is a film ticket purchasing program. So the first thing you do is choose what video you want to watch, and then when you click on it, the drop-down options will be Star Wars, Frozen, Lion King, and then you're indicating I want grid 1, 0, and a line left. Okay? As I note right here is 0, 0, and XY is the top left corner. So as we're moving down to be 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, etc. If I want to move to the right, say if I want to go over 1, down 1, then it'll be 1, 1. The very top left corner is 0, 0. And then I'm doing the align within that square of left. And I will copy this one over to the Google Doc so you guys can see that as well if you haven't already started typing this. So that's over there on the Google Doc now. Okay. So what that does, like I just mentioned, is it creates this drop-down combo menu of the option between Star Wars, Frozen, and Lion King. The next section is the title that you want to appear to the left of that square. So other than just having the drop-down, you want to have a little bit of description text of what that is, and that's what I have here is just film description. Is another text box that we're used to from on Tuesday. A text, app is the ownership. The text I want it to actually show up is fill, which filled. Grid 0, 0, so that's that very, very top left corner. Align again equals left. And then on this program, all we have is that loop of app.display. And remember, we initialized app up here. So this is the app.display infinite loop. And then if everybody remembers, all of the stuff that we want to have inside of our program, inside of our GUI, needs to be above the app.display, because this is where everything gets initialized. And then once we get to a point where we start adding the functions, that goes into everything that we have input here. Okay? So why don't you get those few things set? And what I will do here is I'm going to add the comments to our Google Doc as well, just so you can have that, because the comments are very important to remember what the point of all this stuff is. And then get that saved on your Notepad++, transfer it via your FTP program onto your assigned Raspberry Pi, and let's execute some programs and see what kind of problems we have. And you can go ahead and unmute if you want to talk.
Okay. Set the juice.
And once I finish here, I will bring up your Raspberry Pi screens and we'll see how things are going. And on the Google Doc here, I'm formatting the comments in green just so it's going to be looking the same for you. And I would suggest, I spelled menu wrong, that's funny. I would suggest putting the same comments into yours so you can keep track of what is what, okay? So this, and take a look at what you guys are doing with Raspberry Pis. Make sure you're putting this in your GUI directory. And make sure as you're transferring it via your FTP program, you're putting it in your GUI directory. Make sure when you're launching your program, you're using Python 3 and using your .py at the end. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Does anybody have questions or problems yet? Look at that.
No, I'm just typing.
I see yours working, Elijah. Very nice.
I didn't know I was presenting.
Well, you're not presenting, sir. You are logged into your Raspberry Pi, and I'm also remote desktop into all of the Raspberry Pis, so I can watch you guys execute your programs as you do, so I can potentially see any issues and help you with that. The VNC system is that remote desktop program, and I have that running for each one of the Raspberry Pis, so I can see you guys. As you notice, when you do that drop down, nothing happens. We'll get into a point where that actually will do something down the road. Now, I also have on mine the print goodbye to the screen, just so when you hit X, you can see something pops up on the screen. I like having something pop up on my terminal when I close my programs.
Mine has that too.
It looks like someone on the shared Pi has theirs operational. I hope you guys are communicating amongst each other so you're not having any confusion of who's doing what. Hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I have seen a couple of the programs execute so far.
Mine works.
Is that you that did yours, Ronan? Oh, I see that. Okay. Good job, Ronan. I got Ethan 1, Ethan 2, and Soren need to execute yours.
I was just adding some comments, transferring it now.
Okay. And once we're getting
And this thing, dope that chunk.
I don't understand where this invalid syntax is.
Oh yeah, let's just sign this again.
film text,
Chris?
Ethan 2.
What?
Well, it says invalid syntax, so you likely have an issue with that line or the line prior to. You have a syntax
Hey, Chris.
as well. Yes, Soren.
Mine says it has a syntax error for the app.display.
Okay, did you do an open close? Remember, if the compiler is giving you a syntax error for that line, it might actually be that line or the line prior. But I've seen a lot of you guys doing it closing your parentheses when you open them. So make sure you're closing the parentheses and see if that's the issue. Is that the issue?
I mean, there's a few people that we actually think hit by people.
Oh.
Ethan, did you find your problem?
But the rest
I think I haven't.
I'm just gonna pick up all of this.
I found mine. I accidentally deleted one of the parentheses.
So, Sarah, what did it
I don't know at all.
Ethan, I think you spelled height, H-I-G-H-T.
No, I'm sure, come on, guys. And then I'll come in with this, and I'll just go,
No, Ethan.
Huh.
Okay.
you know what?
Well, are you executing a code?
But
Chris?
Complete.
I am. Is that?
Are you gonna execute something?
Yeah.
No, maybe. Nope. Alright, you're
So
there.
I will.
What line?
I don't know.
Hey, Ethan, too. Are you on 63, correct?
Yup, I'm on 3. I am pretty confused because I don't know what's wrong. I'm pretty sure I
It says invalid.
copied yours.
So see what you might have that's wrong.
Are they trying
Well,
to
again,
say?
because it says line, well, you can't just rerun it. It says line 21, is it? Line 12. It says line 12, but look at the line prior to that.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Syntax problem on that specific thing. I also noticed that you have grid equals 0, 0. So look at the line before that, see if you might have an issue. Okay, everybody see the text I have for myself?
I mean, we have.
What do you think my issue would be?
Well, have you done any troubleshooting yourself?
Yes.
Okay, what have you come up with?
I came up with that I copied from up above and then I changed it to the way you had it. So I deleted that from right here. And then I also changed this to this.
Screen in your code, see what's going on there? You're not.
What is Chris?
Yes.
So I need a function to define the film choice or the drop-down menu.
Okay. What do you mean by that? You don't need a function.
Because whenever
Choice is
because I try to
It says combo is not defined.
I copied it straight from the doc.
Okay, do you have combo right here for your include?
Yeah.
Your import.
Combo options. Yeah. Film underscore choice equals combo.
Capital C.
Oh, is there a space there?
Lowercase m b o. No, there's no.
It's not a space. That's no space.
Chris, I got mine working.
Soren, you're operational.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you click the drop down menu and it shows them options.
Exactly what it's supposed to do. Elijah's got his. Ronan
Yeah.
has his. How you doing, Ethan? Too.
I'll change it.
I have one more thing to try, I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Suck in GUI.
I did find something on the line before.
Combo. COMBO. Is there anything wrong around it? Underscore name.
Utilize the Google Doc as a reference and go ahead and do that because I copied my whole program right into the Google Doc, so it should be pretty easy pie.
Yeah. Oh wait, I might actually be forgetting one thing. Film dot description. That's that film description.
It's here in the beginning, just like you guys know, that film underscore description is just the new variable here. So that's just the name of it. That could be anything, but all of the stuff after the equals has to be the same. Okay?
Okay, I need to add the film choice too.
Chris.
Yes, Ethan too.
Now my error is no module named GUI-01.
Are you using Python 3? You are not. I see you're typing Python without 3. You did that on all of them, actually. So remember, I said it a couple times. Python 3.
What's wrong with that?
There you go, Ethan. See, Python 3, man. That's why I said that. All right, Ethan. I think yours is good. Ethan 2 is good. Soren's good. Ronan's good. What's up, Ethan 1? What's going on, man?
It's the same error.
What is your error?
It's the name error. Line 14, name error, combo is not defined.
Okay, are you presenting? How about everybody take a look at Ethan 1's screen and see what he's got going on here. Cool.
I actually changed it around a little bit, but it's this one.
Still have
Specifically complaining about
the previous program up and running without commenting it out, I believe. So remember what I said to do a save as on 25. You also need to get rid of the old stuff that's not being used. Or delete it or comment it out.
You were kind of cutting out when you were saying that. What?
Well, you still have, I see, all of the code from GUI-04 in that without having it commented out. Like,
Yeah.
some issues for you.
Oh, so do I not need these variables?
Those functions, yeah, you can really just delete those. If you look at my program, this is the entirety of my program. It's just these 3. You can keep some of that stuff if you want to keep it and comment it out. But I would say at this point, you could probably just delete it all. It might make your life easier. Okay?
So really, I don't need.
I would say
So I don't
all of that.
need any of
You
these.
get rid of all that. Everything from 28 to 18. Why don't you just hit backspace on that? Just highlight and backspace. Don't get rid of the stuff. Okay? There you go.
So delete all of that.
Okay. Now let's take a look at what you got going on there. Film underscore choice equals combo. Is that a capital C? That is. Options equals square. Okay.
It almost worked.
Combo is not
9:30.
defined. So go back and open up your code, dude. You don't have to
Line
have
13.
a combo included.
So-
That's what I mentioned earlier. Look at my screen. I mentioned this. See that? And it's in the notes. You don't have all your includes. If you look at the Google Doc, all the stuff that you're supposed to have up here is not on yours. You see that?
Oh, you changed those.
Yes. I mentioned that at the beginning of class. But since we're doing combo, you have to import combo from GUI-0. So put combo up top, just like I have it with mine right here. Okay?
Port from. Oh, that's why.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Mm,
Hit
So
right after picture. And it, again, look at the Google Doc. I have it highlighted in yellow. All of the imports we're supposed to have. Pay attention,
I'll
man.
take the Google
Yes.
Doc. There's one.
We're gonna move to the first
I know.
as soon as he gets this. This should be it.
Must have been.
We gotta pay attention to detail.
Must have been. Why?
Oh, here.
No, not me.
We'll see. I'm going to delete this and then copy it straight from the doc.
All right, for everybody else, we're at number 6 now. Ethan, catch up.
Almost done.
Okay. See my screen here? We're adding 2 more sections to this code. We're doing a check box and a checkbox text. What I will do is I will add this straight to the Google Doc. Copy and paste, make life a little bit easier. Okay. I want everybody to notice the grid values. Notice we have grid 01 and grid 11. And notice the comments here. So all this portion right here is putting a text box to the side of the VIP seat. Okay? This is something new, and make sure you have this on your import. This is a checkbox. So it's the same thing like when you have any kind of a checkbox on a website or any other program you ever do. You either can indicate that you want to do that via that checkbox, or you can not, and it won't select it at all. All right, so I'm going to leave this here on the screen, and then we'll take a look at something, and you guys should be able to finish this up pretty easy. I shall return.
Did you know that the average of skeletons in bodies is like more than one?
That is like literally impossible, Soreen.
Pregnant women.
Oh.
Yes.
So many pregnant women who die before birth. There's enough pregnant women who die before birth to completely change how many bodies per death is average.
No.
That means over half.
No, I'm talking about the amount of skeletons in bodies.
The amount of skeletons per death.
No, in bodies, like living bodies.
Oh.
I don't know.
So, like, the amount of skeletons per people, for you and me, it would be like 1. But the average across the whole world is more than 1.
That is a very random and stupid thing to say.
I know.
But I like it.
Ethan,
What?
Ew.
sometimes when random people say dumb things, you just gotta let it go.
Did you know that 20% of all coffee mugs contain fecal matter?
I drink coffee, Soren. Why?
What are those ones? The ones in the dump that have fecal matter that like one thing
I don't
landed
know.
on them and now they're fecal
I don't
matter?
know. I
whatever?
just found that fact on Reddit.
That is fake.
Statistics are made up.
I know, but it would be awesome if it was real because Ethan would be drinking poop water.
You have to stop looking at Reddit, Soren. My God. You watch too much stuff on Reddit.
Your skeleton is wet.
Yeah, no duh. Ronan, are you executing stuff? Oh, what I forgot to do. I accidentally did something wrong. I did not save and transfer. I did not save this as. Do we have to save this as GC? We have to resave this as GC 6, right?
Yes.
Okay, Queen.
Yeah.
I can hear half of what he said. I'm gonna be honest. Save as
Make save.
GC 6.
Wait, why are you saving it at G Sheet 6 even?
Don't worry about it.
Well,
It's supposed to be GUI.
it's GUI
Oh, yeah.
6.
Yeah, it is GUI 6. I don't know why I said G Sheets. It is GUI 6.
I was thinking that. Like, why?
Yeah, I'm saying it's GUI 6. I don't know why I said G Sheets. I'm tired.
Oh, I can order a VIP seat.
A what?
A VIP seat.
What is that?
It is a VIP seat for very important.
Very important people.
Yes, laid off. Okay.
Very imploded people.
Swear you are messed up in the face. What, are you executing anything?
Very imploded people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Line Tris. What is wrong with line Tris? Line number tree. Did Chris post more stuff we have to put in? Display. Are you going in my clay? We have to grab all of this. I think we have to grab all of this.
Hello.
You're full of capacity.
Oh, I like how there's only one type of seat. You can only have VIP seat or non-VIP seat. It's not like a drop-down menu. It just, you click on it or you don't click on it.
Did you know? Did you know that your eyeballs are the only organs that don't grow from birth?
Thank you.
There's also other organs that don't grow from birth.
Okay.
Hey, Ethan too.
What?
Remember, some useless, dumb comments don't need to be commented back on.
Yeah, I know, but it's fun.
Bird hit the window.
There's nothing else to say.
How's everybody doing? Did everybody get that part done?
It
Yes.
works. Now I have to add more movies.
All right, is everybody
Hey, Chris.
having a problem? It looks like everybody executed theirs properly. Yes, Ethan too.
Now I'm going to add more
I did
movies.
not execute yet because Ethan
Mine
executed.
worked.
Ethan too, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I
I'm gonna
was
add
trying to do something, but it didn't work.
Don't do anything extra until you learn the basics, okay?
I was
can
just
add
trying to
movies.
move the VIP seat down a little bit so it wasn't in the way of the drop-down bar thing.
Okay, don't forget to bring me.
But when you move it down, it still puts it in the same place.
And do you know why?
Because there's nothing in between it, and the grid goes off of how big the object is.
If you add something that's a space filler that we'll get to later, then that can work.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
So do a file save as. Let's do GUI-07. Okay, and this one I'm going to expect you guys to actually put this one out yourself. I'm going to do the horizontal choice. I'm going to put that on the dock. However, the text box, the definition box, I'm going to expect you guys to put in yourself because you can copy and paste a previous one and then just change the values. Okay?
Good.
So what this is this is going to be, as it notes right here in the name, is the row choice. Okay? Again, going back, see, we're doing a button group, and we're doing info. Make sure you have these things included. Because this is that button group. If you don't import that, then it will not work properly. So you're going to have the choice. Again, we're going back to what I just described earlier as app is boss of all, because we have app.display. Your options, as indicated here, are options of front, middle, and back. And the automatic or original selection is middle. Horizontal, which means a left to right and not up to down. Remember, we have vertical and horizontal. Horizontal is like on the horizon. Your grid location of 1, 2, alignment left. And the text information that you should be able to easily derive off of your previous text input. However, make sure you do grid of 0 and 2. Okay? And this is GUI-07. Does anybody have any questions, or how's everybody doing?
Good.
Okay.
I'm still.
I'll make sure everybody sees the grid XY of 0 and 2, okay?
Dying.
Does everybody see the alignment information here of what we are defining of grid 1, 2, and grid 0, 2? And Ethan 1, can you tell me how this one should line up then in comparison to this one? Ethan 1.
The 1, 2 will be a little bit further ahead than 0, 2.
What do you mean by ahead?
They won't be perfectly aligned in the back. They won't be. I don't know how to pronounce.
You know on a graphing paper how you have X and Y coordinates?
Yeah.
Increase your X, it goes further to the right. Do you remember that?
Yes, but that's what I meant. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Now, the only thing that's funky about that is when you're going down on your Y, the number is actually increasing just because 0, 0 is top left. And as we go down, it increases. So you go 0, 1, 2 as opposed to -1, -2 like you would have on an actual X.
Chris.
Yes.
Interesting.
2.
I'm confused because we put this whole thing and then it's like, we do the whole row choice and then the app and options is all in a normal parenthesis, but there's no end on that line.
What do you mean by on line 42 on mine here? Is that what you mean?
34.
34. Yes, there is no ending because there's a comma, and what happens here is it wraps around to right going into line 35. You can put it all on line 34 if you wish. So as opposed to You can have it all continue to the right here. That would make it so you'd have to just scroll off to the left and right a lot to be able to see that entire line. So what we have here instead is this comma, and then that's the end of that particular line, but it continues on to the rest of this. Does that make sense? So
I see it now.
I see you have the GUI of the drop-down. You need to close that GUI before you relaunch that program, and potentially should even happen before you transfer the file over. If you transfer a file as the file is being run, there might be an issue.
Okay.
You know, Elijahton,
Yes.
how's yours going for you?
I just finished typing it all out, so I'm transferring it right now.
Okay, I just didn't see the cursor moving in the puck. All right, so I think I got a Soren operational there. Now, Soren, do you see what's happening with the back?
Yeah.
Okay, and I think Elijah's not so bad. But what can you do to give yourself a better visual of that option?
Put it on a different, I don't know.
Put it on a different what?
I was thinking maybe put it on a different row. Or row, yeah, row.
Where's my
I mean, so you have the different
the
program. Now, Elijah has already dynamically enlarged his window. However, I want you to look at when you're initializing your app, and I have it highlighted on my screen.
Oh,
If you
I see
your
it.
initialization form wider than 300, then your back will not be cut off.
Yeah, I just saw that, so I'm gonna do it.
50.
Chris, can you go back to the program now?
It still is.
Where's my
I'm gonna
GUI?
make the window twice as
On,
big.
I mean down here.
There's GUI-7.
Is this what you're looking for, Ethan, too?
Yep.
Gordon, are you executing?
I just did.
All right, Ronan.
Oh, me too.
I still see. I don't see the next section that we just finished listed in here, though. Ronan.
Yes! The window is twice as big now.
Oh, I couldn't save it, that's why.
Yep, make sure you save and transfer. We should be on GUI 7, I believe. Yep, we're on GUI 7 at this point. And you just launched GUI 6.
Ronan, are you executing?
I just did.
Me too. Hey, it's not popping up.
Why are you running GUI 6, dude?
Oh, that's why.
Chris,
Yes, Ethan, too.
is there a way to change the font that this is going to appear in?
That one is going to appear in.
Like that, the words on the website, or like
Star
what?
Wars, all the
Like
way.
make all of the fonts different?
Yes, you can change the font on your GUI. We're not into a point where we're doing it.
Actually,
We're just going through the basics of
middle.
stuff.
VIP seat? Heck yes.
Okay.
Hey, Chris.
Fine King.
You're working first. Who just said, hey, Chris?
You can look at number 0 and see.
Yes.
Oh,
This is amazing.
Ethan 2 is trying to catch up, and he shouldn't be messing around with extra stuff until he catches up and understands the basics, and then we can start messing around with other stuff. Okay? We got 2 more add-ons of these GUIs to be able to move forward to something that's a little bit more exciting. Everybody needs to be getting the basics done first. Ronan, I don't think you have launched, or have you launched GUI 7, and does it work?
Yeah, so it works.
Chris.
Yes.
Oh. They're all inside of each other.
Okay, so what'd you do wrong?
Hey, Chris.
That's why I said don't bother trying to mess around with your text. Do the basics and understand everything and get everything fully functional prior to messing around with other stuff. You have, I imagine, your grid alignments wrong. If you, and I want everybody to listen to this, if you do two different things with the same, let's look at this, for example, if I'm highlighting this right here of the grid, say XY of 0 and 1, if you have more than one item set to this location, you likely won't even get an error. One item is going to end up on top of the other item and you won't be able to see the other one. So it's very possible, Ethan, too, that all of your stuff is rendering on your GUI where it's supposed to, where it's being told to, but not where you want it to go. So you need to make sure every item is on a separate grid cell, grid coordinate. Okay? Does that make sense, Ethan, too?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you notice, for example, I'll go back and just make a quick reference to this, is grid XY of 0, 2 and grid XY of 1, 2. That means this one right here should be the third row down technically because we start at 0. And this one is on the far left, while this one is 1 to the right. So this one will appear left of this one. Now, sometimes if you're having an issue with understanding or grasping or just wrapping your head around the concept of the alignments on your farm, it can prove beneficial to launch your program so you have the visual of what it looks like and then go back to your code while you keep your program up and running so you can see it. Then go back to your code and look at what you're doing on your code versus what's showing up on the screen and see what you can do to fix it. It looks like you have yours running now, Ethan, too, but your alignments are not where they were supposed to be.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, Ethan 1.
I changed my print at the very bottom so it says thank you instead of bye.
That works. Okay.
Mine does you dare closeth me mortal.
Said you dare clotheth me mortal. Oh, I see that.
I think you read too much Reddit, Swan.
No.
All right. I think is Ethan 2 the
No, I just
right
clicked
now? Ethan 2, are you almost done?
I'm done.
You are. Your alignment.
Ish. I don't know how to undo that though, because there's obviously some sort of weird space it's seeing there.
Yep.
Even though I don't have anything in the 2 column. I only have the.
You realize that your definition text, as
I can't hear you. Somebody's like smacking their keyboard.
listen, your seat location defined, you see on my screen. You are missing that. You were told to put that in yourself, and that is supposed to be at 0, 2. Therefore, the information right here, seat location, will show up to the left of your front, middle, and back section right here. I see that your front, middle, and back is showing up. However, this text is not. Do you have this line inserted either above or below this section?
No.
Okay, that is why. Now, I want everybody to understand, too, that it doesn't work. The computer will always do what it is told. Okay? The problem is typically the data that you have input. It will always do what you tell it to do, and it will always not do what you don't tell it to do. If you have a program that's doing something funky, it's because you did something funky. It's not its fault. So it's always beneficial to go back and see what it is doing and what is not happening and reference that to what you told it to do. Because it's always going to do what you tell it to do. That goes back to the ducky situation, Elijah. The concept there is you define what is supposed to happen, and then you talk about what's supposed to happen as simplistic as if you're talking to a little rubber ducky and say, look at ducky, this is what's supposed to be happening, and it's not. And then you figure out why. Okay, Ethan 2 needs to be in here. And And that's one that I said that you guys got to do on your own. So after you finish that, as we move on to GUI-08, so everybody else can keep on working as well. Okay. The first thing I want everybody to recognize, we have something new here. What is this called? Soren. What is this called?
It's a function.
It is a function. That is correct. So we have a do booking function. What we have here is booking. Thank you for booking. And it's going to print some data out. Okay. So let's scroll down. This is what we just finished right here. And then we have a new push button, a book seat button. And this command calls that function. Now we recognize from Tuesday, this is where that happens, is a command equals do booking. So that makes reference back to our function. The button will simply say book seat, grid location of 1, 3, alignment left. Now I would like everybody to type this out on your own as opposed to copy paste this from the doc. Okay? Also remember to comment your code so you can make reference back to it. And I will copy this out of here and put the comments on the Google Doc.
Is the function on the dock?
The function is not on the doc. However, I think it would be easy if I put that on the doc for you. Okay, I'm going to scroll up and grab this function real quick and throw it on the doc. But quite honestly, from all the experience you guys already have, it should be pretty simple to add a function. Let's see. I have this above my app, so I'm going to do the same thing in the notes for everybody. So on the Google Doc, I am going to insert the function code straight in there. And now if you copy and paste it, your formatting might not be quite correct. So as you put it into your Notepad++, just make sure you have it formatted properly. Okay? So again, make reference when you push this button, and make sure you pay attention to the capital P and capital B in the push button. The command equals do booking function. Text equals book seat. Grid equals 1, 3. Okay.
I can't assign to operator.
And Ethan, to hopefully help your issue, the text insert code I have included in the Google Doc now. Okay? Seat location define equals text.
You said you were putting the function in the Google Doc?
Or Elijah, scroll back up because I put it above the app in the program, I inserted it above the app document on the Google Doc. So it's right below the includes or the imports. And I'm going to scroll up here and I want everybody to look at my screen with me, specifically at line 8. Does everybody see this?
Yep.
Since you've likely not executed your program yet, this is kind of fun. This is an info pop-up. So when this function is called, the function will then pop up a informational pop-up that's just going to say booking, thank you for booking. And once you do that, you can see what happens. And then this print, does everybody know what this print's going to do? You should know what print means. What's going to happen here, guys?
Yeah, it's gonna print those different values.
Okay. I want to finish.
Chris, make sure you put it in Google Doc.
See the row choice?
You put it.
I put it in there, but I just got a notice from Google Docs that says changes is taking longer than usual. So you might give it a sec. But I want everybody to see here on line 9 through 11 here, the printout, the variable of row choice is what we define down here. Okay? The dot value is what's been chose by the user. So this is the actual value of that variable then based off of whatever the user does. Okay?
Okay.
Reload my Google Doc.
Oh, Chris,
in there. Yes, Ethan too.
can you go back to the booking thing on your screen?
Hit the function or the push button.
Both of the push button.
All right, Elijah, my function did not get written properly into the Google Doc, so I will do that.
Yeah, I'm just typing it out.
Yeah, the Google Doc is lagging a touch here.
I believe that's all I need for the grid. Oh yeah.
Chris?
Now I put it back in the Google Doc and I'm scrolling back down to the button
Oh.
code. Okay, guys.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris?
Okay, hold
Oh,
on. Let Hank Chris this. Okay, Soren, what's up?
So instead of doing thank you for book, I'm gonna do thank you for choosing Soreboy Theaters.
Okay. Make sure it's within the quotations then, so it doesn't actually change anything parameter-wise of the info pop-up.
Oh, whoops.
Elijah, did you say hey, Chris as well?
Did the
There you go, Elijah. Now, if you move your form over, you'll be able to see here. You see right there on the terminal, it printed that data out, the value.
I see
Two
it.
guys, is you could have, and I don't have this on any program description, but we could even work on that together if we wanted to. But one thing that you could do is you could have a text input where we're saying quote unquote the customer fills out their name and information, and then it prints that data out to the terminal as well. And then we can even go another step beyond that is set up a database or link this into our Google Docs as well and have it print out to a Google spreadsheet of who is booking and what their seat selection might be. So there's all kinds of opportunities there that you can do once you get some of these basics done. Okay, I want to make sure everybody's executing this program before we move on to the next step.
Oh, that's GC.
I haven't finished it.
All right, well, keep on going then, dude. Finish it. It says button and the function. Does everybody have the data from the function that's on the Google Doc?
Yes.
Okay. Remember, this is GUI-08.
No.
You have an error, sir.
Oh, on 38.
Booking.
Do.
Looking at your screen, the do booking is not defined. Do you have a do? Oh, you have it spelled wrong.
Oh.
So I'm gonna
Hey,
bring
Chris.
your video into the screen recorder. Yes, Elijah, go ahead.
So is there a way we can make it so when you hit OK on the pop-up, it closes the GUI?
The GUI itself. You could. You could do a break. You could do a lot of different things if you really wanted to just close. However, if anything, what I would probably prefer is to change the code and have another pop-up that maybe just says program closing now or something along those lines. But you could. I mean, the options of what you could do could be anything, infinite. The options of what you should do might be a little bit defined. Because what if I want to run the program and book multiple different seats? Then I don't want necessarily to do to close the program out after I book a single seat. Like that, Ethan 1, I see you booking. So yours is operational. Good job.
I need to do one for her.
Now, also, if you would like, for funsies, now this is going beyond the basics, is you can do another info pop-up after it prints to the screen. You can have it say Chunky McChunk Chunk if you want.
Chris.
Oh God. I know what someone's doing.
Nah.
Really, sorry? You're not gonna do that?
Ethan 2, what's up, man?
No.
You're good.
I-
Run and execute it.
I'm very confused with this syntax error because it's pointing to blank space that's not even like filled.
Okay. Well, it's gonna. Yeah, that's part of.
Maybe should it be filled?
Oh, there's Lorian.
Chris, can you go down to the
No.
book sheet like function
Are you
thingy?
talking about the function? or
Not the
button?
function. Yeah. Just say it's a bottom.
Okay, your error, Ethan 2, is invalid syntax.
There's the pop-up.
So what do you think is wrong with that?
Oh. There's no underscore here. It was a
Your
space.
command is do space booking, but your function is actually called do underscore booking. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So going back to
Chris, I did.
I literally just changed
Thor, what you
that.
got going on here, sir?
I don't know. I am checking the syntax.
Yep.
It said there was a problem on column 88, so on this line though.
Saying there's an issue with a line equals.
What?
Now one thing.
That's mine.
I'm looking at Soren's on 61 right now. I see a line equals quote close quote, and I see a double close parenthesis.
Oh,
Why would there be a double close?
that's probably it.
Yep. Change that, save, transfer. Let's execute again, and I've got you on the recorder. So let's see if it'll work. Elijah, is yours fully functional, sir?
I'm checking the syntax.
Yeah, mine's working.
I checked the syntax and it still says there's a syntax error.
Well, I'm looking at your screen right now. Did you? Is your grid,
Chris,
Soren? It looks like your
Oh, I
grid
see it.
is a parenthesis instead of a square bracket.
Oops, wrong one.
Okay. The grid data for the x and y coordinate needs to be in square brackets. Okay, how you doing, Ethan? 2? Are you moving through your issues?
I got one issue solved. Now I have a different one.
That's good. Quite honestly,
I'm just booking moving.
I always expect you to have problems. I don't expect you to be perfect the first time. The most important
Oh, I found
learning
it.
how to do this, learning how to program in any language, or quite honestly, learning how to do anything within robotics, electronics, etc., is to learn how to troubleshoot your problem. Okay? You're always going to have problems in everything that we do in this world. The best
I'm just booking
your
movies.
troubleshooting.
Alright. Yeah, maybe just say that just happened or something.
Your work.
I like booking seats.
Alright.
Oh, it worked, and then it
Hey,
unworked.
unworked? Can you tell me how to spell command, sir? Ethan 2.
Oh,
I feel as if that should be
I spelled it wrong.
M-M-A-N-D and not C-O-M.
Yeah.
So that will certainly give you an issue.
It's like the one misspelling or like the missing comma that always ruins the command.
Yeah. To be yours, sir.
mine not work.
Either.
Oh, I think I figured it out, Chris. There was an issue with the function itself. I did some error in this.
Oh.
Some application program. Nice.
Flattish, it's got sling.
Chris? Chris? Is there a way to make it close the app as soon as you book a seat so you don't accidentally like do multiple and it just closes it on its
Elijah, would
own?
you like to take that question?
It doesn't close on its own already.
Yep.
Well, no. Can you make it close the app? Like automatically.
That's what we were just talking about, Ethan. And yeah, you can, but
You can, but that's not the best way to exit a program for booking seats. Now, one thing that you could do is you can have a decision matrix there. So you can have it so you have another pop-up that says, would you like to book another seat? You can have a yes or a no and have it do some different things. You could have it entirely just break that function loop.
I think I found the
You could do a
error.
lot of different things, but when you're doing programming, you also got to think about the flow of the user interface, okay? If a user wants to book 2 seats, for example, and your program automatically just closes when it books 1, I'm pretty sure that's not a good interface. And I'm going to expect that the user will be unhappy about their experience. So you need to really think about potential processes that will be done during the operation of your program. Soren, I see an operational program here.
Yes, I forgot a comma.
Okay, so everything works now that you added the comma. So can you book a seat for me? And I'll record it, and let's see if it works.
Star Wars. I want the VIP seat all the way in the back. Book it. Thank you for choosing Soreboy Theaters.
Theaters. All right, Soreboy.
That is a new nickname for him.
Soreboy.
So that's gonna be your new nickname, and you can't stop me from calling you that.
Okay, but I can
Sure.
beat you.
Why would he make himself a new nickname if he didn't want you to call him that?
You're putting too much logic
Besides,
into
it is nowhere near a new nickname. I have been calling myself Soreboy around like different friends for years. Years, I tell you.
years. I've only known you for 4 years.
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 Talking.
Years.
Pencil.
Soren Boy and Ethan 2, Ethan 1, and Elijah execute. Ronan, what's up with you, man? Have you pushed on and executed?
Mine does not work.
Not working.
And I don't really get what the problem is. But I think it's something to do with the function, probably.
Ronan, let me see your screen, Ronan.
And we can all look at your screen or your code here and see what we can do to
Okay.
help. It says non-keyboard arg, keyboard arg, or keyword arg. Okay? Let's see. Nobody can see this besides me because I'm the only one logged in. But I want everybody to listen to the exact thing that I say right now. His error.
Oh, I think I see it, Ronan. I see your error.
Listen. Syntax error, space. Non-keyword arg. After keyword arg. Does anybody know what arg means? Remember a lesson on Tuesday? No? No one. Oh
No.
my Lanta. Okay. Do you see?
Argument.
Yes. Thank you, Elijah. This portion, every little bit of this is an argument within this particular button. So this button, ownership argument is app. Command of what do you want it to do when you push it, argument is do booking function. The text of what do you want to be called argument is text book seat. Grid argument is 1-3. I think you are missing an equal sign there, sir. Look at grid, no equal, 1,3. Do you see that? Ronington? Line 26, Ronan. Do you see grid, open square? It should be grid equals, dude. Got it?
It is. It has
Have you
been.
changed it now?
No, it has been like
I'm
that.
looking right now at the compile error on your Raspberry Pi, and it says grid open square 1 comma 3 close square. There's no equal there.
There's been an equal there.
Okay. We can move on to the next piece. How's it looking?
Is Ronan's working?
Ronan. No, I did something on yours. I'm using your terminal program. Hey, Ronan. Oh,
Yeah.
look at your Raspberry Pi. I just used the text editor on the Raspberry Pi to open up your Python program. I want you to look at the section that I have highlighted. You see this? There's no equal.
Chris, I will be right back. I am getting milk.
Okay. You know,
This kid is
got
cool.
about 40 minutes left in class, so while Ronan fixes that portion, let's all do a quick little break. I'm going to go refill my water glass, and then we can continue on with the last few things I have of class. Okay, guys?
I
Okay.
have to pee and refill my water anyways,
Pee
too.
and refill your water, sir.
Work?
All right, guys. How's it going?
Good for you.
No!
Oh,
No!
doing a drop down
Okay, well, we gotta try
seats.
again. No, this is not
Very nice.
This is not good, game. I mean,
Yes,
Chris.
Soren.
You know how you can select front, middle, or back? I think because when I booked, like, I think there should be an option for like which row or no, that's which column, like 1B or 1A.
Now you can do that. We only have one section that I wanted to go over after this. So that's something you can do. And that's why I always say is once you learn the basics, you can start doing your customization. Very important to know your basics before you try to customize and do a bunch of crazy stuff. So that's why I have these set processes I'm going to go through first that will get you some really good what's called jumping off points. So once you get the grasp of how this stuff works, then you can really start moving into other stuff. Just like I see Soren and Ethan 2 doing right now. Hey, Ronan, did you put this to work?
oh god. Oh no, it's okay. Oh god. So bad.
He's watching you.
Ronan, let's see a output on your terminal at least, so that's a good work. Okay, everybody ready to move on? I want to do a quick, I guess, attendance to make sure everybody's here.
Lashes bang energy. Yeah, I'm good.
Elijah? One. Ethan 1. Boy, it's fun. All right, now that I got everybody,
I think
I'll move on to my next bit. Have questions about what we just did?
Ethan Warren's here.
Say, compared to last week's run, this level has, or this run has been much more successful. We have not gotten very far ahead in that at all so far. It seems like
Who's watching YouTube?
Who's got something going in the background? I added another function for GUI-09, and this is just something to see the dynamic situations you can use with your sliders. Okay? Value slider equals slider. Then I have the change value function. And this is the same text basically from the GUI-04. This is why I always have you save things so you can copy and paste this. Okay? Right above this here, I have a value output, just a text box, just like what you had before with your welcome. And you can indicate your text, your color, your initial text size, and all that different types of stuff. Okay. Notice I have my value output, my text box of 1.4, and I have my slider of 1.5. So that tells me that my slider is going to be below my text box, right? Okay, the first thing that happens when this program
Yes.
launches is it's going to say slider value right there on the text. As soon as I touch my slider, it's going to call my change value function, which is this very simple function, and it accepts slider underscore value, which is what value underscore slider accepts that variable. And then I'm going to do a value underscore output dot value equals slider value. So what happens there, as you slide from 10 to 80, that text box will then represent whatever number you're sliding on. Now that was kind of a bunch of stuff all said in a twisted way, so I'll make sure everybody understands what's going on there. And hopefully we should be able to do this without too much difficulty. Is everybody tracking?
Yeah, I'm still confused.
Kind of accepted this much.
Yeah.
So this GUI-9 is the same as GUI-8. With the addition of this. Okay? So I will reiterate what this is. In position, grid equals 1,4. We have a text box, just like we had the text box from GUI-4. Okay? So you can copy the code straight from GUI-4 into GUI-9. The difference is you're adding the argument of grid. So we have grid equals 1,4. Tracking? So that's going to be a text box that when the program first launches, the text that's in that text box is going to just be the slider value. Okay? Now the next add-on I did is this section. And this is just GUI-9. This is just a little bit different than GUI-8. So what this does, you can look at my comments here, it says adds a slider to the GUI. The owner form is app, that's that first argument. Command calls the change text size. I should actually change that because I copied it right over. It calls the change value function. Okay. Sending the slider value. The slider starts at 10 and ends at 80. Now remember, every little section here between these commas, these are all called the arguments. So this is the object, the slider is the object, and all of this stuff is the argument of that. So I'm calling this function, the change value function, taking the slider value, the data of the slider. When this function is hit here, the slider value, actual value, the variable value, is taken into this function. And then what we're doing is we're saying value underscore output dot value, which might be a little confusing, but let's slide down real quick. Right here, value underscore output. This is the thing that starts with slider value. And it's going to equal whatever the slider value currently is. So as the program launches, the first thing that slider value thing is going to do is just say slider value. As soon as you touch the slider, that function will be called, and it will change the value of the output text box. Does that make sense? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The point here is I want everybody to understand the dynamic changes you can have within your form. Let's take And reference this to something that is part of a future plan, so you understand while I'm doing this, is we have our slider value. I'm sorry, our value underscore slider dot value. So the value of the actual slider. Let's say I wanted to have it of a range being left, right, or center on a servo if I'm going to have a camera mounted on it. So if I want to look to the left, I take my slider and I slide it all the way to the left. And what that's going to do is call a function that's going to move a servo. So your camera now is pointed to the left. You can slide it left and you can slide it right and you can slide it right to the center and you'll be looking all over the place. Does that make sense?
Hey, Chris,
Elijahton.
can you show the function
Sure.
again?
This is a pretty simple function, especially with everything that we've done so far. The only thing you need to remember is it brings in the slider value. So then, as I noted earlier, when you do a dot value of something, it's actually changing the value of that static item. So value output is just a text box. The dot value is grabbing the value of it. Initially, all it has is text in it. But you're reinitializing that every time you move the slider to actually change it and have the number on there. You guys still need this up?
I'm good.
I'm just confused in general.
I mean, that's true.
I do.
Why are you confused, man?
I don't quite understand how it works or like what each individual thing
Okay.
does.
What individual
I-
thing do you not understand? And you know what? Let's
Just like the stuff we went over
Okay.
today.
Elijah just finished his program. So Elijah, why don't you demonstrate to everybody what you're doing on yours?
I'm doing exactly what you're doing.
Okay. So my goal was to get you to actually describe that a little bit clearer for everyone. What I'll do here is let me on my presentation here. I'll change this. So I can start presenting. I'm going to do a presentation of your Raspberry Pi image. So that everybody can see it. Okay. All right, now if you guys look at my presentation, you should see the Raspberry Pi image.
This is the Chris Schaefer.
No.
Okay. You should see that now. So Elijah has written his program. So then you have your book seat button, just like you had previously, that has all of that stuff. And really all we've done is just add this to the bottom. It doesn't really do a lot for the seat booking itself. But when he first launches this
It doesn't do really anything.
well, it kind of does. It doesn't look
Well, there's no explanation to it.
the point
It's just a random
have this
slider.
as something that really does anything of specific value. My point is I wanted to show you guys how this works as you slide things around, because this is something we're going to build onto to be able to have a slider that you can use to move a servo probably next week. Okay? That's the point here. So if you're having, say, 10 is the value for looking to the left, and 80 is the value for looking to the right, then, say, 45-ish can be looking straight center.
This thing is being weird.
So all that is a slider that calls that function that, in turn, changes the value of just that text output. So why don't you close?
Hey, Chris. If we were to do this for like moving a servo, wouldn't it be better if we did like -40 and positive
Good. You
40?
can do all kinds of things. Okay, now I'm going to work on switching this over. So I'm going to change my presentation back to my code.
Where did Ethan go?
What, Ethan?
The
Me?
first one.
Oh.
Yes.
All right, back on my screen.
Because he is no longer in the meeting.
Missing?
Did he do a leave?
Well, I should have been text. I want to see everybody getting this operational just like Elijah did, and we're going to move on to
I think, yeah, I just got mine operational.
I'm really confused on what I'm supposed to be doing.
You're just adding.
Chris, can I put next to it in column 1, like something that says, seat location, or that just like,
Good.
No, do it.
Permission to mute. Permission to mute Ethan or Eli.
I'm messaging Kim.
I'm back.
I'm noisy. Oh, in the background.
I'm back.
Give me a moment.
Okay, I'm back.
Guys, let's see if I can bring up the Google Doc here too. So if you're having issues, for example, Soren.
Oh, God, this thing's. Okay.
Soren, I put the information.
Hey, Chris.
Do you see my screen?
It's saying that the connection was closed remotely to my VNC.
Your VNC? Oh, that's no good. Bring this back into the screen recorder. You open on 60. You might have dropped your VPN or something. Or your VNC just dropped.
Yeah, I'm reconnecting right now.
Holy
All right.
God, I think I'm
I
having.
put the information for the value output and the slider
Horrible.
code right on the Google Doc.
Internet.
Yes.
Chris, look at my camera.
Your camera?
Yeah.
Okay. Bring you up. I got a couple fun things to do after this. All right, Elijah 10. Is that a processor, sir?
Yeah, this is from my old computer.
Did it fry?
No, it didn't
Alright.
fry. It just we were gonna recycle my computer anyway, so I just took it out.
Recycling it. What? Let me recycle it.
Well, the only thing we're in there. These only things in there, Chris, are the bad motherboard and the disk drive.
Are you sure the motherboard's entirely fried? That's so sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I got Ethan 2 is operational. Elijah 1. About Ronan and Ethan 1.
Chris, is there a variable? Or like, I mean, not. Is there a function at the top or something? Okay, let me get that
Yeah,
quickly.
yep.
Chris.
My mic. Hello?
Here you, Ethan 1.
Hello.
Let's see. On
Hey, my mic.
got Soren. So you doing all right there, man?
Okay. Is my
I think so.
thing working? Okay.
Yes.
For the
Chris,
slider.
can you put down?
Yes. All the code for doing the slider stuff is in the Google Doc as well, guys.
Oh, it is. Okay. Hopefully this does not screw me. Share. Am I good? Oh, yeah, I think I'm good. Yay.
You operational?
Okay.
All right, I got one more program. Okay. Come on.
God darn it.
Not darn it.
I'm a little Oh, I think I. Wait.
You should be good to go, guys. It's just two more things to that last one. And the function, which is all on the Google Doc.
Okay, I think I know what I did.
I want to move on and get this last thing going because it's pretty cool. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get it in time.
Chris, look at my VNC. Look at my Raspberry Pi.
Raspberry Pi screen. What's up?
Yeah.
It'll work.
Look, it says amount of seats before 10.
Nice. Okay. For basically, what you're trying to do is say so people can slide and choose how many seats they want to do. Cool.
Yeah. I'm going to set it from 0 to like 15.
Okay. That just so then
I
you just
think-
need to change your end number right here. So start at 0 and end at 15. So 15 is the max they can book at a time. Yeah,
Chris, it said it wouldn't. the slider wouldn't be like from 10 to 80 will not be displayed because it has a missing grid reference. So I changed that and then I transferred it, but and I put the grid reference in. Oh, and it didn't work, so I'm gonna try it again.
Mine has grid 1.5,
Hopefully.
and it's the same thing that I have in the Google Doc.
Yeah, that's what I did.
From 10 to 80 will not be displayed because it has a missing grid reference. You dare close me, mortal.
There, now it works. And I didn't even change anything.
I do see that you have red text.
Yeah, I do.
All right. I think everybody should get that, and I want to try to get into this next piece. Does anybody have any issues, or ready to move on? I got a new program.
My slider doesn't change anything. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, Soren, is taking over your connection. Closing your modal program.
Can you guys hear me?
Hear you.
Yeah.
We're gonna move back one.
Jeez, God. Oh, my thing's on. Oh, my goodness.
Working forward. If you look at, see the simple form I have? This actually goes back to the tank bot now. So I can push the forward button and my robot drives forward. I hit halt, it stops wherever it's at. I can do reverse, right, and left. And then you can also start adding some LED stuff in there and start taking in sensor values once we get to that point. So this is all the stuff that we're working towards. Okay? But since we are now 4 minutes from what's supposed to be the end of class, I want to make sure that everybody, for one, was able to execute that last slider program and see if anybody has any questions for the end of class here. How are we doing, guys?
So wait, that slider just change that
Everything's on
number.
the dock, right?
Yes, everything for GUI-09, I'm going to go back to that. If you haven't finished that, everything should be on the dock. Okay? I left just a couple things out that I want to talk about. The end of
Okay.
all
'Cause my internet is sucking.
I can hear that. This is the only thing that GUI-9 was, is to add the slider value stuff. Okay? Elijah?
Okay. I just gotta add the last line.
Goodbye.
And I'm
Elijah,
good.
questions?
What?
Do you have any questions, Elijah? You good to go for next class?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be doing a homework over the weekend, so just pay attention, and we'll be putting something together that I'll expect you guys to have ready for Tuesday. All right. Soren, are you good to go? And you guys are welcome to stay on the pies if you would like. They're still operational, and you can keep on.
I would do that, but I have some schoolwork to get done.
Okay. They'll be on. If you want to
Chris?
message me on Hangouts, I'm right in the middle of talking. If you want to message me on Hangouts and make sure that you can log into your Pi, you can keep on working on programming if you would like. Just the same during class if you want to some more. Okay, Soren?
Mhm.
Okay. Goodbye,
Bye.
Soren. Ronan and
Chris? Bye.
Ronan, are you good to go?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Nope.
Did you get your program with the slider to work?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Good job. And I will be putting out the homework. Ethan 1, what's going on?
So I had a question.
You're Ethan. Hold on, Ethan 2. I'm working through the list. Ethan 1, are you good? Did you get your slider to work, and are you good to go? Ethan 1. Okay, he's having issues. Ethan 2, you're next on the list. I see you have your slider up and running. What question do you have? And why are you typing stuff into the terminal? Don't be doing goofy stuff, man.
Okay.
Okay. What
I was trying.
what's up, dude?
So I wanted to know if there was a way to ask for user input, and if that input could be like, how could I tell if like if I hit the arrow keys?
Yeah.
Is there a way to like what would the arrow keys do in the user input box?
You're again asking questions about stuff we haven't covered yet, but there is a way to take input from the keyboard if you use the arrow key. You can also have, like if you're doing user
thing.
have a text box input, you can do stuff like that. But if you're thinking about driving stuff, for example, and you want to be able to push the up arrow key to drive forward, that is a
Still waiting for my Google Drive to load.
Okay.
okay. But that is something that we can work towards, and it's a lot easier if you just have, like, say, a Bluetooth keyboard plugged in.
I gotta wait. I'm trying to wait for my Google Drive to load, and then I can just copy the two things off of it.
Ethan 1, we're talking. Ethan 2, I see you had your slider program. Do you feel like you've caught up, and do you have any other questions?
I do feel like I've caught up,
I'm
and
muted.
yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Now I will leave the Raspberry Pi on, and you can continue.
Oh yeah.
To play with it.
Chris,
Yes, sir.
the thing about that is I don't know how to look at the Raspberry Pi. I couldn't figure out how to do that.
What do you mean how to look at it?
Like how to look at the camera, like through the camera.
I don't have Raspberry Pis right now.
Okay.
But if you want to keep on tinkering, I saw you were tinkering a little bit with running that GUI and slider. You can keep doing that if you would like, okay? Check out Ethan 1. He had his connection problems. Ethan 1, what's going on? Ethan 1. Alright, I think I'm about ready to stop the recording here, and we'll move on. Hopefully everybody learned something today.